I'm sitting here pondering what to do for the first painting in the new year. A happy new year to you all. I think when you don't know what to paint, I think it's just a good idea just to paint, just to get stuck in and things happen. Most of my paintings, apart from the line and wash, are generally made up, improvised views of things I've done before from a repertoire. And it's always good fun well, I think it's good practice to just let the brush do the work, just paint away. So here we are. Just got 11 o'clock on a Monday morning, 4th of January. Fabriana, £130 paper, 11 by 15 sheets. And my grandson John Paul's come to visit for the day. And the colour palette is lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. Okay. Yes?
Which?
All right. Well, you can always watch the video on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
Right, so the first thing, just to wet the paper all over. I've cut the handle of this brush, I've taken too much of it really. But it seems to be a well-behaved hake. If you're struggling with a hake, don't worry, we all struggle with it. It does lovely things, but it disguises a lot of water and the bristles can split apart. So you can easily bring them back together, mostly with just doing that on the palette with it until the water binds back together again. And the paint's a little bit soggy, which is good. And we'll just put in a bit of a wash. More or less all over. You can do it all over if you wish. And clean the brush off now. Whoops. Excuse me. I've got my sables here. I want to put those where I can get hold of them if I so desire. Right. I'm going to put water in this. I don't know yet whether there's going to be a river or a flooded piece of land. I had a lot of that in the UK over the past 2 weeks. It's been a really miserable Christmas for thousands of people. Right, okay. So we'll put a sky in. The sky today is very bright. Some nice white clouds. Well, clouds are never white, but they have a lot of light in them, a lot of colour in them. And if you want to check that out, just put a sheet of white paper up against the clouds, and you'll see how much more colour and depth there is in them. So just a bit of alizarin, a bit of light red, just a bit of. You don't have to paint the sky that you see, just skies from memory. I like to get a bit of movement in my skies, so a bit of direction, and then where the water might go, just put that in. And then a bit darker overhead, a bit more threatening. Okay, so that's a very, very simple sky. And as you come down to the horizon, you can do smaller clouds. Now, while the paper is wet, you can do a lot with it. It's when it starts to dry. When the shine starts to go off the paper, it gets a bit hazardous. And just bring those down into there. So some hills, distant landscape, bit of blue. Nice sweep of that. Have a piece of cloth handy to take off the excess moisture. And into that we can put in some maybe some darker blue. The more planes the better, I think, because if you've done more work. Then we're going for some let's try some Payne's grey and the blue and a bit of burnt sienna. Truth, not strong enough. Needs to just be a little bit stronger to register. Otherwise, if you've painted a similar wetness of the background, you'll find it just bleeds into the surrounding area. But I can't really resist reflections and the wet in wet look. Oh, it's a bit warmer. Bit of land sticking through there. Leaving the hake is very good at leaving broken areas like this. Wetness. Bit of green. And of course you've got the various shapes of the made by the broken clumps of bristles in the brush. Let's just reclip this. See, they all these type of paintings, they all end up differently. Nothing's ever the same. I'm going to put some really heavy stuff. Got a bit of tissue in the paint there. Don't want that. And I've got a bit on my finger as well. So I'll remove that before that ends up in the painting. I'll put some of this in here. Just using a bit of burnt sienna and Payne's grey for this. Try not to go over too far. Put some trunks in. And the harder stuff. Let's just put in some reflections there. In the brush, I want to put in some of these reflections here, I think. Who knows how this is going to turn out. That's just in some bits, pieces. Right, now we're going some of the sienna and vary the colours and the thicknesses of the paint. Try to get variety in what you do. Payne's grey mixing with that. This is really just a sort of a bit of a comeback picture. Letting the brush do the work. Let's see if we click it. Nice bit of wet. We can put some bushy type stuff in there. Grasses, all sorts of textures, different bits and pieces. And we'll take that across here. Trying to create an impression of flooded land. I wouldn't say it was abstract, but it's sort of going that way. But there's enough in it to anchor it to a traditional sort of landscape. Alright, now we're going to put in some rocks and grasses and stuff in here. A bit of red, that's a bit of red, yeah. And a bit of blue. Why not? Okay, get the card. I've got a cup of tea here, getting cold. Right. Just get those bits of twig just going into the white or the water area. Using the bit of card as a brush. Right. I want to put a bit of detail, or a bit of heavier detail in across there. Use a bit of Payne's grain, a bit of. Get some warmth in that. Some winter warmth. Now that dark there now will lift out and give some boats. Or would anybody actually be sailing on flooded? No, perhaps not. We'll just leave this as what it is. Put a little bit of detail with the rigger. And a couple of birds. Right, take my number 3 rigger and just a shadow on the ground here. Right, I'm not doing too much more than that really. Just try to keep this as simple as I can. put a signature on it. So this really is a simple landscape that reflects what people are experiencing in the Lake Districts and in parts of Scotland at the moment. I know it's a nothing painting. That will come, but I just need to do a bit of painting, a bit of uploading to YouTube. So you know that I haven't gone off the face of the planet. So I'll put that on there, like that. So there we are, quite a nondescript sort of painting, but it says a lot really in trying to give an impression of flooded landscape. Let's go through it. So I put a bit of detail there, which sort of balances the picture on one side. It just sort of blocks the picture, gives a bit of interest. There's the flood, and I put in dark across here. You can make your own mind as to what that is. And I put the background in of blue hills, give distance. So there we are. The sky, it's a typical Ron Ranson sky, I believe. Just done quickly while the paper's wet. The angle of the board is about 30 degrees. Probably would have been a bit flatter. Could have been a bit flatter. But it's trying to balance the angle of the camera on the tripod to the painting surface. Not much more I can say about that. All the best for the year, and see you soon. Bye bye.